Alright, what up, guys? So, this might be a little bit scuffed, but I really wanted to look at the shot chart for this game because the Rockets are fucked. Uh, and very simply, Ime let Fred Van Vliet play like he was Stephen Curry. And I'm sure we all know Fred Van Vliet is not Stephen Curry, especially from three. But oh my god, this shot chart is sickening. 19 shots and you hit four, bro. Jalen really off. Wow, this is. I can't believe this from Jalen. Anything outside of the paint, I can believe, but man. And to his credit, only two of these threes were true, like willing threes. And what I mean by that, the other two threes he took were at the second half, and they were either due to shot clock or pretty much had to take them. I think they were both due to shot clock. Maybe one he was wide fucking open, and I was like, okay, this is a three I gotta take. But man, Hemi obviously played excellently. Five steals, incredible. Just a single turnover. Steph absolutely balled. Two of the threes he hit, guys. Like, there's nothing you can do. The best defender in the league is on him. And how is Amin Thompson not the defensive player of the year? Don't, Mike. The NBA is just a league full of morons all around. But Curry probably had his best game of this series. I do not expect him to be able to replicate this. The Rockets, surprisingly, they had so many mental lapses defensively, and the switches were odd. It was weird. It was like a different team than the last time they played the Warriors, and that isn't the most shocking thing to me. There are just a few things that had to be shored up. Basically, reactions to certain offensive plays, mainly by Steph. And just reactionary defense in general was very poor from the Rockets last night. But, I mean, more than anything, guys, when you have a fucking. A, one of the top five basketball IQs go 2 of 13 for 3, not get to the line a single time, and 4 of 19 in total, you're not going to win. Fred, I don't know how he did not understand, guys. He was off. He needs to stop taking threes. He's not Steph Curry. And this whole season, he has been a streaky three-point shooter. It makes zero sense for him to do what he did, guys. And I'm very worried for Fred. For the Rockets, I'm not worried at all. Jabari getting benched after absolutely going off and bringing the team back in the game is crazy. No idea what Ime was thinking. They obviously needed somebody to make shots. Jabari Smith was the only person really making shots. It's Ime. This was the worst coach game I've ever seen from Ime. I think he himself was even shocked about what we saw. The level of physicality the refs allowed has been like no other. I could not believe what was happening on the court. And for anybody who says basketball is not a contact sport, watch that game and tell me basketball is not a contact sport. My God. And I'm fine with that. I think it was fairly called for both teams, and that's great officiating. I do think it's an issue because we still have refs calling some stupid fouls in other series. And it's a you can't have games called like the Rockets Warriors game and then have another game called where you can't even touch anybody. And it hasn't been quite that bad, but there have been a lot of inconsistencies and way too many bad foul calls in games where there's a ton of contact being allowed. But that's for another day. Almond of 2 from the free throw line. Also, Steven Adams only played 20 minutes. He put in work out there, and they were playing Adams, Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., I believe, is the lineup. They came through with the comeback, and they were dominating the offensive glass, dominating the defensive glass. Steph just made some crazy ass shots, and the Rockets could not respond with any points at all. And when that happens, you're going to lose. It's that simple. Sengun played a great game, but beside this turnovers, and Jabari Smith, God, he was playing so well, and then those last 2 turnovers he had. I guess that's why Ime was just like, we can't have that. But at the same time, if you're not scoring, it doesn't matter if you turn the ball over. It really doesn't matter, because what Fred VanVleet was doing last night, guys, that is equivalent to turning the ball over 11 times. Missing those 11 threes was psychotic. Always putting the Warriors in fast break, not letting them get lined up. Curry was able to avoid Almond so many times because of the bad shots taken by Fred VanVleet. And when you have that, it is just very hard to win. Outside of Fred VanVleet and obviously other players, Jalen Green, Almond Thompson, missing those pretty routine shots for them, this game was still close. Like, it got back within 3 points, and then the Warriors, to their credit, made another run. That's not going to happen again, guys. And this was a great win for the Warriors. Let me not discredit that at all. Anytime you can win on the road in the playoffs, that is a huge W. I don't care how it gets done. It's a massive W. If the Rockets... let me see what they shot as a team. 38%. If they just shoot in the low 40s%, and if Fred VanVleet is not given this leash, this series is in the bag for the Rockets. I know people are probably like, what the fuck? They just lost the first game at home. How does that make any sense? Because the Rockets basically had statistical lows by every single player except for Sengun, and this game was still winnable for the Rockets. And the two best Warriors players both overperformed. And the fact that we are not going to see Jonathan Kuminga in the series is pretty much puts a nail in the coffin for the Warriors. No idea what Steve Kerr's thinking. He's just a fucking idiot. Ime should recognize that and start Jabari Smith, especially if Tari Eason or whoever is going to be starting is not going to be making shots. And Ime, he treated Fred VanVleet like Tatum this game, and that he's not Tatum. Fred VanVleet is an excellent, one of the smartest players in the NBA, knows how to play the game. But as a coach, guys, it is your job to protect players from themselves. What does that mean? Players are always, at the NBA level, they have egos, as they should. They're one of the best in the world at and crazy athletic, crazy challenging sport. You never want a player doubting themselves, doubting their ability to make shots or anything on the court. But when you see somebody at 1 of 10 from 3, you cannot allow them to shoot any more threes, Ime. You cannot allow them to shoot any more shots. And I don't want to say any more shots at all. Wide open threes, yes, take, but that should be a last resort. Especially when you're 1 of 10, you have to find other ways to impact the game. And Fred, that's the thing. Fred is fully capable. He's on this night. He was the only person outside of Sengun capable of distributing and creating for others. Jalen Green can, but he had his worst game, and it was his first playoff game. It's understandable. And I put this all on Ime far more than Fred. Because if he's on the court and Ime hasn't told him, hey, get to the rim, create for others, no more threes this game, he's going to keep shooting threes. And again, the coach has to protect the player and do what's best for both the player and the team. Outside of that, the Warriors role players actually played really well. I think most of them shot. Okay, that's not true. The Warriors role players outside of GP2 shot poorly. I think they played fine. And Guy Santos. Guy Santos came in 5 points in 7 minutes. That was huge in this game. Huge. And yeah, it's just when you have your best two players, two of your top 3 offensive players go 7 for 34 from the field. Like, you're just not going to win that game. And to Jalen's credit, he did start attacking. He did get close to the rim. He was not ready for the contact. And for Jalen Green, the one thing he needs to do, and this is, let me get through with my point, but he cannot go soft to the rim. He has to go into contact. He usually, in the regular season, he's so quick, so shifty. He's able to avoid contact so well. And any contact that they have on him when he's performing like that is a foul in the regular season. We saw that is not going to be fouled in the playoffs now. So instead of swerving through the paint, trying to get clean looks. Jalen just needs to straight downhill, straight at people, right in their chest, straight up. And he's going to have to force the refs to make a call rather than count on the refs to make a call and be more of a finesse player. Attack, 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 straight down. And I do not expect Jalen Green to have another game this poorly. It's definitely possible. Young player in his first playoffs. But I would be very surprised. And I liked Jalen stayed aggressive. I liked he cut down on the threes. And I liked he got downhill. I was very impressed with Jalen Green this game. And a lot of people will probably be surprised hearing me saying that. Somebody who has been very vocal against Jalen Green's bullshit. This was not bullshit by Jalen Green. He played an intelligent game. He was just off. And he's going to have to get used to how the playoffs get called. And this is what I did want to say. The way the refs call the regular season is a disservice to players. Because now we are seeing a complete other level of intensity being allowed. And it really changes the way the game is played. So I really think Adam Silver is going to have to figure this shit out. Because the first half of the regular season, there was a perfect amount of contact allowed for the regular season. Nothing was excessive. Nobody was getting hurt. There weren't players getting knocked down on every single fucking drive. But the last half of the season, that changed to just getting hit like this was a foul. Even if just the craziest shit, guys. And transitioning from this being a foul to being clubbed that fucking hard and that not being a foul, it's massive. It's very hard to deal with. Mentally, physically, it's nearly like a different game. And I'm not joking about that. If you play ball, you know, like, it's different when you start getting hit. So, final thoughts on this before game 2. I definitely think 4-1 is still possible for the Rockets. We shall see. Fred VanVleet is going to have to be more of a Russell Westbrook player than a shooter. And that might be too much to ask for him. If he cannot transition to that, and if he goes like 1 of 6 for 3 at half again, he has to be benched. Because he's a defensive liability at this point in his career. And if he's not making shots with the way this Rockets lineup is constructed, they have to get somebody that can make shots in the game. Aaron Holiday has been very good in the second half of this season, guys. I was shocked we did not see him. And I was shocked Ime gave Fred 40 minutes still, considering he was 4 of 19. That's just crazy. And it's not like he was doing anything good on defense. Also, the Rockets' spacing was... They're going to have to... Steven Adams, personally, he played very well. He exceeded expectations for himself. He was clogging up the paint 100%. And one of the reasons Jalen Green could not make any shots in the paint is because he was constantly driving into 2-3 people when Steven Adams was in the game. And Eve is going to have to figure that out. I think it's very simple. Jabari Smith needs to just get 40 minutes, regardless if it's off the bench or whatever. He is the pretty much only consistent floor spacing big. Tari Eason has been having a very, very good 3-point shooting season compared to his average. And I have no, even though he went 0-4, I believe, 0-4 from 3, I don't expect that to happen again. Yet another thing. And we are going to see, well, more than likely, we will see these Rockets players basically the opposite of this is going to happen next game. So they'll be hitting absolutely everything. It's very important to space the floor, especially if Fred VanVleet is off for 3 and if Jalen is as well. You just can't have 3 people camping in the paint while Jalen is trying to drive in. And I think that's also one of the reasons why he was able to be fouled so much. There are so many people just waiting there. It's really hard for the refs to make a foul call when people are just standing there and you're running into them, you know? And that's why I said, if the Rockets do continue to play like this, Jalen, he can't be swerving. He has to just go straight into people. And I know it's potential for a charge, but with how that game was, the people in the paint were fighting each other legit, like wrestling, not fighting, but just running into somebody will get you a foul call. But if you're trying to like avoid them and you run into their arm, let's just say they have their arm on somebody's shoulder and it's like stretched out like this, They're not going to call that, and neither should they. But yeah, I think Rockets definitely got this in the bag. Steph Curry, I do not. He made so many hard shots, and he is Steph Curry, and that's why I always say, guys, nobody should be taking these threes that Fred VanVleet is unless they're fucking Steph Curry. I would not care at all if Steph Curry went 2 of 12 from 3. The fact he didn't even take 12 threes says a lot. And again, that's coaching. I don't know what Ime was thinking. I really don't understand, because when they were within a single point, or maybe it was just 3, there were 2 or 3 Fred VanVleet wide open threes missed, and that just ruined it, guys. Those are the equivalent of turnovers. You get 0 points and the enemy gets in transition. It's so heartbreaking when you've come back from a 20-point deficit. You're within a single score, and then you have an idiot just spamming threes and losing you the game. So we'll see. I do expect Ime to make adjustments. I think I was very impressed the Rockets could even come back. And you guys should see the defense that the Rockets bring. That shit is going to be very hard for the Warriors to deal with. I'm not sure. And also, bringing in Jabari Smith Jr. to guard Jimmy Butler, I think would be a great idea for Ime. Himmy is going to have a lot of trouble. Anybody is going to have a lot of trouble shooting over a 7-footer who can move by like Jabari Smith Jr. The dude he's a beast. As long as he continues to play like he did yesterday, cut out the turnovers, the Rockets, he is going to lead the Rockets to a win in this series. We'll see if that happens. Ime has stopped trusting him. The Rockets got to score. And on nights like this, Ime has to trust Jabari Smith Jr. It's that simple, guys. And I did just want to talk about these 2 games we got tonight real quick. This is crazy. The Nuggets are not favored at home. Bro. I don't know if people watched the same game I did, but in that game, I saw the Nuggets miss a lot of good shot attempts. And I saw the Nuggets play some very good defense, aside from on Harden, who was just allowed to drive to the rim whenever he wanted, given his dominant hand whenever he wanted. I don't understand the defense on Harden. Outside of that, I think the Nuggets played great defense. Michael Porter Jr. also just completely shit the fucking bed. And that's not going to happen again. I'm not sure. I'm a believer in Michael Porter Jr. So let's look at this and let's just see what is going to change that is going to be better for the Clippers. And from what I see here, okay, the Kawhi turnovers, yeah, that was really bad, and that probably won't happen again. The Norm turnovers were bad and probably won't happen again. The Harden turnovers were very low, and that is not going to happen again, in my opinion. Zubac 1 of 4, probably won't happen again. But, guys, I probably should make a different video on this, but Ben Simmons was called out by Ty Lue, so the Clippers are sunk, guys. Ben Simmons played, these minutes were actually really good. I know why Ty Lue said he wants Ben Simmons to score, because he did give up a pretty open layup. And who he passed to was not really a good shot. But that's who Ben Simmons is, man. And he's going to mess up like that sometimes. You just got to take the good from the bad. You guys have to stop trying to change Ben Simmons into somebody he's not. Just let the dude play. And when he feels free to play, he is going to shoot. Just let the man play. And the Clippers are definitely not getting this from Batum again. Probably 1 of 6 is what it should be. He made 2 very hard threes. I couldn't believe it. Actually, probably 2 of 4 was right. But still, that's nothing at all. So for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray played absolutely horrendously. That is not going to happen again. He was actually getting some very good quality shot looks. He was just fucking breaking them, which, I mean, he's known to do. I did not realize Westbrook got off 17 shots, guys. Okay, this cannot happen at all. It's, you know, the craziest thing? Westbrook here made the same amount of threes as Fred VanVleet, and this was a horrible game. And Fred VanVleet took double the amount of threes and scored less field goals on 2 more shots. That's pretty crazy. That should put it into perspective how badly Fred VanVleet played. And again, I think that's on Ime. Jalen Pickett, I was surprised he didn't get more minutes. And if the Nuggets struggle to score, they have to get Strawther in. There's no question about it. Wow, yeah, Nuggets shot 33%. This is really the 3 pretty not too out of bounds for the Nuggets. This is way too low for the Nuggets. And the Clippers shot 50% and still lost. The Clippers did have a ton of turnovers. Let's see the total, 11-20. So yeah, that's what got them. But again, 9 turnovers versus probably going to shoot 53% this game. Michael Porter Jr., he's in a tough spot, guys. And man, oh wow. I'm not really sure what to do because he needs to shoot. But with Jamal on the floor, these two are just negatively correlated. Same as Luka and Kyrie. It's not like they're bad players. They just want to do the same thing. They want to take the same shots. And Denver is obviously just completely prioritizing Jamal. When he goes 7 or 20, you can't do that. You have to give Michael Porter opportunities. It's that simple. And Michael Porter, he will open things up for this Denver team. The only person they really have that can deal with him is Simmons or Kawhi. And bringing Kawhi out, that's good for the team overall. Brown is going to shoot better. And Joker, honestly, I think Joker played a pretty bad game, which is, I know, crazy. What, 29, 12, and 9? 3 steals, 1 block, only 2 turnovers. That's a great game. He should have at least made 6 or 7 more easy-ass shots. Easy-ass shots. So I'm very confused as how the Clippers are favored here. Especially at Denver. Especially after losing that one at Denver that they should have won. I just don't see this, guys. And really simple adjustments for... Honestly, Brown just needs to play on Harden. Brown, Watson... Put one of those two on Harden all the time. He's not going to shoot this well again. He's going to turn the ball over. And you're stopping that connection with Zubac. I don't know. We'll see. The Nuggets, they should be able to put together a game plan that deals with this team pretty easily. I expect the Nuggets to win this pretty handily. I would say 5 or 6 points is what I would expect the spread to be, guys. Very confused as how the Clippers are favored here. Very confused. This game, oh wow, Isaiah Stewart actually is a game time decision. That's big. That's actually really big. He played very well. And with the Knicks playing both Cat and Mitch at times, they need They really need Isaiah Stewart. He was on the court with Duren a little bit at the same time, I believe. And that's not abnormal for these two. So, 22-point run in the fourth quarter. 22-0. 21-0, excuse me. Just crazy. Just crazy. The tank commander hit a lot of shots. I believe he was one of the main contributors to the run. Let's see. Yeah. Bro, this is not happening again. Straight up. They got their game from the tank commander. Deuce looks to be in a slump. OG played very well, especially considering he was guarding Cade. Mikhail, he needs the ball in his hand a little more. He needs to be creating for others. And Josh Hart, honestly, was more of the secondary ball handler than anybody. Brunson, I think, played pretty good. Shooting percentage isn't good, but that's just how Thibodeau wants things running with the Knicks. He wants Brunson just running everything, and Josh Hart only getting 30 minutes is a fucking tragedy. Kale, yeah, that's right. The more I think about this, guys, the more I think the Pistons really do have a chance to win this series. I would not be surprised at all if the Pistons win tonight, as long as Isaiah Stewart plays. Asar, 5 fouls. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, he played. So having Asar and Schroeder to give two different looks at Brunson is very OP. Malik obviously back in form. Tim Hardaway played good, which this probably is not going to happen again. So that's the only thing about. But this probably won't happen again as well. Cade, just from thinking about it, I thought Cade played fine, but that field goal percentage is atrocious. 6 turnovers also. I was really high on Cade, guys, and the second half of the season, he's just been playing like he doesn't care. He's been way too loose with the ball. I don't understand it, man. That's all I can say. He has no reason to commit these turnovers. Most of them are from the exact same thing. Being a fucking idiot in transition. Not worrying about who's around him. Not worrying about who's running the floor with him. And he just fucking rushes into people and turns the ball over. No reason for that to be happening. Jalen Duren, I think, played an excellent game. Wow, the stats don't show that, but he was moving the ball very well. He was always being that centrical outlet guy. And I expect him to get better stats. Oh, man, he only got 25 minutes, too. 4 fouls, okay. Yeah, they got to get their foul trouble sorted out by Stewart, Duren, and Asar. Outside of that, I mean, we saw the Knicks can be beaten, for sure. For sure. I'm interested to see how this plays out. It can go. I think this is one of those that has a ton of variance. So I'm not betting on it. I'll tell you guys that. But I'm not surprised if either team wins. If either team blows the other out, I'm not surprised at all. So yeah, that's what I got for y'all. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought about that Houston game. Let me know if you think the Rockets are done, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are freaking out and think the Rockets are dead. I'm telling you they aren't. All right, take care, guys. Peace out.